Damn it. Hey everybody, welcome back. Chris, as always. So today is a big day. Sold the shovel finally, and we took that one to its new home this weekend. And part of the deal was a trade for another shovel. So we'll get to that thing. There it is. So it's another 80. But this one's an 80-inch motor, and the frame and motor are numbers matching. Our last shovel was not. The motor was a 79, the frame was an 80, so on and so forth. But this one matches. It is very crusty. So this one's going to be a lot of work. So what we do have though is big plans for this thing. So first off, we have our hardtail. This is from Voodoo Fabrications. They sent me this thing. I ordered this thing like a month ago. So really either this deal was going to happen and we were going to hardtail this, which is what our original plan was, or we were going to keep the other one and hardtail it. So something was getting cut, whether the deal went down or not. But yeah, a little more about this one. We have bought this 39mm sporty front end, so we're going to run that narrow glide. Picked these parts up today. All Josh and all Trustworthy Cycles came through once again. We have a very early juice drum. We have star hubs for the front and rear. 21 in the front, 18 in the rear. So that'll be fun to get that set up. And he had this fender. So this is a front fender, as you can tell. But this is going to be our rear fender. So it has this kind of a ribbed edge on the bottom, which I really like. The fender I was actually going to order is from Cooper, like Craftworks or something like that. Cooper is his last name. Lowbrow sells his fenders, but he makes all them by hand and whatnot. But so on that note, they're not cheap. He has one that's very similar to this, that is has that ribbing on the outside and whatnot, that is built for an 18-inch wheel, and it's like 250 bucks, and this was 40. So we're gonna make this thing work, and if not, it's 40 bucks. So you know, not a big deal. But I'm pretty confident that we can get this to work as our rear fender. So ordered some parts today. Got on old Dennis Kirk because they had what I needed. So we ordered an axle for this juice drum to make it work, because it has all the funky spacers and all kinds of crap. So we're going to get this thing to work. So the drum itself is going to take a little bit of work. These dowel pins are all broke off, or I get worn off. I feel like they're worn off more than broke off. But there is one still in there, so we ordered new ones to these. And then we have what looks like pretty new, if not brand new shoes on there. So that's good. Looks like we got to clean out this wheel cylinder. Probably going to replace that with a new one, just so no worries. Yeah, but then on our drum, so we had those dowel pins. Those are going to get replaced. They're essentially just peened over on the inside, or we can weld it. So we'll drill these out, get those replaced. And our sprocket is worn. This one's pretty bad shape. As you can see, it's pretty beat up. So Josh was nice enough to hook us up with a new one. So yeah, so we're gonna put that on. This is gonna be fun because there's a shit ton of rivets that hold that thing on. So we will get that going at some point and get that all swapped out. We'll wear there, but that's fine. So that's kind of our plan so far. Star hubs and whatnot. We got a juice drum. Originally I was going to go drum or disc brake on the back and no wheel or no brakes on the front, and then I called Josh up and he had these really nice star wheels, or star hubs, which I've been wanting to run anyway because they're wicked awesome. So we're going drum brake in the rear. Going to try and set something up for a front brake. So Harley did make an adapter for the star hub on the front. At one point in time, it's like 80 bucks. V-Twin resells it. But it adds like an inch to the wheel overall, the hub. I put this one up in there with that front end, and we probably have half an inch total on the side. So probably like a 1/4 inch of clearance on each side of this thing. So can't really do that one. So plan is, I have this 11-inch disc, or no, 10.5, 10? I don't know. I think it's 10. They came with the other Sportster, or not Sportster, the other shovel. So I think we're going to try and use that as a test bed to figure something out. You know, 11.5 would be better, but 10 is better than nothing. These are it's like the real early juice drums, so the shoes are really narrow. So I did order a 4.5-inch wide tire for the rear. We're going to do Shinkos on this, just like our last Shovelhead. So Shinko on the rear and front, and it's 4.5, so we can get a little bit better bite and less chance of our tire locking up as easy with the rear brake. So that'll be good. You know, like to keep it a little sketchy, but I also don't really want to die on this thing. So front wheel, we're gonna, for the time being, we're just gonna fit it. We do have to make a new axle because the star hubs run a 5/8 inch axle, and our sporty front end has a 3/4. So we will take that stock axle and I'm gonna turn it down because the end that actually goes through the other side where the nut goes on is 5/8. I did fit it in here. It fits this bore on the wheel, so good to go there. We just gotta turn the rest of it down in our lathe. Once we figure out all of our shims and everything that we need to make this work. So we're going to be making some sort of adapter for the front for the disc brake. So the plan is for that is we're going to take that disc and machine it so it'll fit over this bore, or over this outside diameter here. The center bore of the disc is very close. It probably only needs maybe 1/8 of an inch total, so 1/16 each side, and it'll clear this. I haven't put calipers on it yet, so I don't know for sure. But once I get it in there, then I'll make a spacer that goes in here to take it down to 5/8 bushing. It'll fit in here, and it'll also be a spacer. And then we can make our actually adapter that'll bolt in here, because and then we can use these same bolts. So because these bolts fit in the back side of this wheel, there's a taper, and that's how it bolts in. So we'll make our spacer or our adapter to where it has this fine through. Oh, that's not fine through, but it has this bolt. Looks like 5/16. Maybe 3/8, 5/16. But we'll put that thread pitch in there and be able to use these bolts in here, and then bolt our adapter on, and then put our disc on. So that's the plan. Whether that happens or not, we'll see. But yeah, it's all an amalgamation of chopper shit. So newer front end, middle year range motor and frame, old ass wheels and brakes. So it should be fun. The other thing we still got to figure out is our transmission. Still trying to find me a long shaft ratchet, but Josh did have a short shaft pan, but they don't line up. I need the long shaft, unless we did some sort of weird configuration with our trans plate. But I'm not trying to go too crazy with this thing. I'd like to just get a transmission and be done with it. So that's kind of where we're at. Oh, the gas tanks. So my plan is to use those 3.5 splits that I had for the other shovel. So this stuff's probably gonna come off. The one good thing about this frame is nothing has been cut off. It is full up. It has all the tabs, everything. It still even has the stickers on it. So we're gonna take those 3.5s. I'm gonna make a backbone here out of stainless, and then we'll put those 3.5s on here, and then they will attach from the top. So they're not gonna attach like this does anymore. The backbone I may attach here somehow, and then those tanks will bolt here, and I'll probably use this bottom mount. But it'll bring the tanks nice down tight to the motor. That way we're not getting too crazy. Because right now the plan is to leave stock length front end. If we get this thing built in on the ground and we don't like it, we can always do longer tubes. I had thought about pulling the front end off the Sporty and putting it on here because it's 6 over. And it has everything ready to go. And probably look really nice on here. But really not trying to tear that bike apart yet. So maybe if I get it done and get bored, then we can tear it off. But not really trying to go there yet. So, but for the front end, we're going to shave these. If we can get a front brake to work, we will leave these. So they'll pretty much be the same as the Sporty, but now we have a lathe, so it'll be a lot easier to turn these down. And then we're gonna brush them just like the factory, but all this will be shaved. These will all be gone. We're gonna clean up these trees. These are gonna go away for the dash. I'm gonna get rid of some of these other holes. This will go away. Gotta get rid of these ears for the original stop that was on the neck. I do need to get some internal stop cups because there's nothing on this right now. Right now it hits up here. So these trees are going to get a lot of cleanup. I'm going to try and smooth them down. Maybe we can take like these edges off. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Had originally was planning on running some Mullins trees, but now they're going to run a Star Hub in the front. The Mullins won't work. This wheel's too wide. So unless we switch to a straight spool, that's not going to work. But we'll see how this does, and if it looks pretty awesome, then we'll go with this, and if not, we can always change it. These wheels, they're not going to go down in value, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Look forward to some updates on this thing. Once we get our axles and stuff in, I think I'm going to start on this thing, and we're going to chop the tail off and get it tacked on, welded on, and then start setting up our rear, because then we can start fabbing up our fender, get all that stuff set up, do our sissy bar, whatever we're going to make, and do our seat and whatnot. So yeah, stay forward, and I hope you all enjoy what we're going to put on here. So thanks for watching. Take care.